Hey guys, this is Lisa from Arcane and Stellar. Today we've got a pick a card reading with 4 piles. The question today is, what's holding me back? This question can pertain to anything in your life, whether it's relationships and romance, business ideas and aspirations, general well-being, whatever is just holding you back in life. I'll also be giving you advice on maybe how to get out of this situation, how to get past these blockages that you're experiencing, and hopefully it will help you. So we have 4 piles. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. So go ahead and pause the video and use your intuition or a pendulum or whatever you need to help you choose the right pile for yourself. And I'll have timestamps below in the description. So take care, guys. Okay, hey pile number 1. So if you've chosen this stone, this is your reading. So what is holding you back? So you've got the Ace of Cups and the Two of Wands reversed. I usually don't do reversals, but I felt like in this case that it was something that I should do. So, because I felt that way, and I felt like it was meant to be. You also have the Strength card, and to me this reading is pretty clear. I think that for most of you, you've been too busy being too strong. The Strength card is a great, great card, right? But everything has a shadow side, or like too much of something it can be bad, right? And too much strength sometimes can be too bad. It can be about self-control, self-restraint. You might be in a rut where you're just going to work and paying the bills, or going through the motions, kind of not focusing on this. But the Ace of Cups is reversed, right? So you want the Ace of Cups to be upright, because that means you're overflowing with emotion, you're feeling good, you're feeling happy, you're full of creativity and inspiration and just good stuff, right? But it's not, it's upside down. So all that stuff is just, it can't get full because it's just constantly tipped over. So you're in a place in your life where you can't fill your cup up. And I always laugh when I think about that, because my daughter, when she was in 1st grade, her teacher read them some kind of book, and it was about your cup being full, and anytime she didn't get what she wanted, she would say, "My cup isn't even full." Maybe if you know what that book is, you could tell me about it in the comments if you've heard this propaganda they were teaching like that. No, it is important though to have a full cup, you know, and you don't have that right now. With the Two of Wands reversed, you also could be lacking, well, wands represent passion, so you could be lacking passion, but really it's about delays. You may be feeling delayed or indecisive about something. You could feel just kind of disillusioned. You don't even know who you are anymore, kind of. You know what I mean? You're like, what do I even want? Like, especially with the Ace of Cups reversed, it's like, what do I even want? What am I even about? What am I doing with my life? What is my direction? For many of you, I feel like you were just in the grind, like, of work and just keeping it together, paying the bills and doing your thing. And so you have the Raven here, which is darkness looms on the horizon. I don't think that I didn't take these cards with the intention of them telling your future. So don't worry, darkness is not looming on your horizon at all. It's more just about connected to the meaning of like what's holding you back. And I think what's holding you back is that you feel like if you let go of your strength, if you let go a little bit, you're going to be in a terrible place. You won't be able to pay your bills. You won't be able to keep everything together. You won't be able to keep your emotions together. You won't be able to keep it tight, right? There might be a little bit of some self-control going on where you're holding yourself back. And you may, with the Wizard, use your skills to aid others. But you may be putting too much of yourself into others and not enough to yourself. For the advice, we have the Sacred Earth Mother, a message of love, and we have the Dream, which is something is revealed, insight, breakthrough. So to get out of this situation, for some of you, this could be a lack of self-love. And A message of love is really just giving your own self a message of love. Uh, Start daydreaming again. Do nice things for yourself. If you're not feeling beautiful and you're feeling like especially with this, like you're not feeling like beautiful enough to do what you want to do, or kind of like you're just feeling down and out about that, do nice things for yourself. Go get yourself the haircut you want. Go change your style. Get a new outfit. Get your nails done. Go to a spa. Take care of yourself, because it's really important to love yourself. And if you're lacking creativity, the same type of a thing applies. What can make you feel creative? What do you love to do? Go to a museum, or, buy yourself a new craft kit of some kind that can spark your interest, right? And with the dream, I don't necessarily think that the majority of you have to look to your dreams for the answers or something. I think it's really just about daydreaming. Start daydreaming again. Because daydreaming is really what daydreams feel good, which ones make us feel good, and then can you accomplish that, right? That can help you know what you want. What you daydream about is so important, actually, and it can really give you insight into what you really want. But the key for the action that you should take is, I've used 2 Lenormand cards, and they're pretty straightforward. We have the key and the stork. The key is, what does the key do? It unlocks something. So the key to unlocking this is the stork. The stork, the stork is an animal that migrates. So for some of you, the key to this is movement. It's moving to a new place, especially with the 2 of Wands. It may be travel, making a decision to travel somewhere, to move somewhere. It could just be if you're looking for love, it could be looking out of your area, right? It could be going to another town, trying to look somewhere else. It could be moving to a new town, but yeah, it doesn't have to be. It could be just changing your location a little bit, or getting out and doing new things, right? Doing something new that can spark new interest in yourself. Maybe help you tip that cup back over where you want to take in new things. But yeah, that's really what I see for you, pile number 1. I think it can be done. It really can. Another thing about the dream and the message of love is that some of you could really benefit from subliminal message type videos when you go to bed. So you may think about trying to find good meditation type videos to fall asleep to, that maybe have subliminal messages that whatever area of your life is lacking, whether it's romance or your relationship, your inspirations, your aspirations, whatever is lacking, try to find maybe subliminal messages that can help you get over these hurdles and make you feel good about yourself. But also, yeah, treat yourself, and don't think that if you have other people that rely on you, there always has to be a balance, right? You want all of these cards to be up, not some of them to be down and some of them up, right? You want them all up, and if you had them all up, you would be set, right? So how can you find that balance, that transformation to help you put these back up? But how can you even know? This can also be a card of disillusionment, the 2 of Wands reversed. So how can you even know what you want if you're not daydreaming and you're not thinking or even giving yourself the time to think about what you want? So get out there and try to figure out who you are and what you want, because that's really the key to unlocking this. It's just getting out, moving around in some way, whatever, you have to use your own intuition, your own, what your problem is, and you can feel it when you hear this message. You're like, oh yeah, it's that. Yeah. You'll hear that voice inside of you that tells you what it is. And so daydream ways to get out of this. Okay? So I really hope that this helped you guys, and I wish you all the best. I've been here before, so I completely understand. I even get there sometimes now, when I get so stuck in taking care of my family and stuff, and then I forget what I want and who I am. So I wish you all the best, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello, pile number 2. Oh, pile number 2. Let's see what's going on for you. What's holding you back? Okay. I feel that many of you have probably gone through something that's really turned your world upside down. You've got the world upside down, literally. Um, I don't normally take reversals, but they came out that way, and I really felt like they were meant to be that way, so I kept them. But whatever has turned upside down in your world, it could be a delay for a project, like something not being able to come to completion. Um, for many of you, I feel like this is a love relationship. You have the maiden, and it came out as well reversed. And yeah, I felt like it should stay that way. And it's like a new relationship blossoms, but reversed, it's not blossoming anymore. And as well, the Four of Wands. Four of Wands can speak of like passion, even like a wedding celebration. It's a great card to get, but it's reversed. I also think it speaks of stability. So for some of you, you may be completely unstable right now. It just feels like everything's been turned upside down, and you don't know like how to deal with it. We have the Queen of Swords, but with these two cards, normally the Queen of Swords is all about logic, right? And the air sign qualities, talking, sharp talking, and like really communicating, and about the mind, a sharp wit. But I really feel like for many of you, you may not be very mentally stable right now. You may not know what to do next. You're like lacking it, right? You may not be able to, like, we have an earth, you got earth, right? So it's like utilize logic, reason, and common sense. And you may even have a hard time really thinking clearly to do those things, right? Because these aren't advice cards, right? These two cards aren't meant to be advice cards. They're more to give me insight into the situation. And with just like this whole spread, I just feel like for many of you, you just feel very emotionally unstable. And you probably went through something that really rocked your world. If it isn't that, it could be it could have been something that basically the world. Yeah, it also reverse can also talk about projects not coming to completion. So some of you are like, it may be not so dire. You're just like, I was working on this, and then a new relationship blossomed, and it didn't blossom. Like it didn't work out the way I wanted it to, and it's not coming to completion, and I can't celebrate anything now because nothing's happening, right? And you may be really in your head about this, like what's going on, like why, like what am I missing? So I think there are like two types here. It could be something it may be a big deal to you. I'm not saying it's not minor. I mean, it's something that's minor and like, oh, we get over it. No, I mean, but I think for some of this could be like a really big, like perhaps breakup. But some of this, it may be that you've been working on something and it's just not coming to fruition, right? And you don't know like how to fix it, right? What's holding you back in this? So for the advice, we've got eternal dance. So movement, wheel of life, path of least resistance. Really, when you let go of control, okay? Sometimes with the Queen of Swords too, you may be trying to control the situation too much. You may be focusing on it too much, overly focusing on it. And you're not letting it just happen. You're not just letting it move. You're not just letting the, wheel kind of go. You're just like, wait, no, I'm going to steer the ship, right? But sometimes you can't steer the ship. Sometimes you just have to the path of least resistance. You got to just let it go and let it happen. With manifestation, that's actually like the key to manifestation. For me, whenever I wanted to manifest something, the more I thought about it, the more I focused on it, the more it wouldn't happen. But when the moment I would just forget about it, I'd be like, oh, okay, whatever. I want it, and or the things I didn't feel any resistance to, that's what comes. That's what always comes to me, and that's how it goes. So, for your advice from the Lenormand, we have the lilies, and then the Tower. The Tower in Lenormand is a bit different than in tarot. It's actually totally different than in tarot. It's about solitude, but also about institutions. So for some of you, this advice, so your advice, okay, for some of you, it could be as literal as like going to visit an old relative. Yeah, like maybe going to go visit your old relative, and they might give you an older relative that you have, maybe a grandparent or something, or maybe a parent. But for some of you, it's just letting it mature, right? Okay, so because the lilies can talk about maturity, right? And I think that's probably what it is. It's just like, let it be, put it away in your mind somewhere, and let it mature. It's gonna happen. And just, let it happen. Let it develop how it needs to develop. Okay? That's really what I think I see for you guys. Um, if it's like, a love situation, just realize, that the wheel's gonna spin some more, the world's gonna turn, and eventually, if you let it and you don't try to control it, eventually something new will come into your life. It will, I promise. Like, it really will. And yeah, the Queen of Swords can be a very wise, cool woman, but we all have our darker sides, and if you're going to be, embracing the darker sides of the Queen of Swords, where she might be overly focused or overly cynical, it won't benefit you in any way. Okay? So that's your reading pile number 2, and I really, really hope that it gives you some kind of guidance. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Okay, hello, pile number 3. If you've chosen pile number 3, this is your reading. So, what is holding you back? So, you've got the Ten of Swords. Well, you have the Ace of Wands, the Ten of Swords, and the Eight of Swords. So, the Ten of Swords, it's a card of, well, it's a 10, so it's at the end, and it's like total utter betrayal and an ending, right? There's no way of really getting up from this, right? It's the end. So whatever has happened to you right now, first of all, I want you to realize that it can't get any worse, really, than maybe it already has. And there's really only coming up after this. But whatever you're going through right now is painful, okay? And you're in a situation right now where you're feeling very like, well, there we see the woman in this card is blindfolded. She's trapped by all these swords. Her she's bound up. She can't move, and she's basically like alone with her thoughts. And the same with this guy. He's face down in the dirt. Just there's probably a lot of anxiety and a lot of in your head stuff. Whatever is going on with you, it's really hurting, and it got you in a place where you're not sure where to go. The cause of this. Okay, so we've got the wolf, which is beware who you trust. And you've got the siren. So a temptation may lead you astray. These two cards are not meant to be, they're meant to be with the tarot to kind of help reiterate what the message should be. They're not a prediction for the future or any advice. The advice cards are the Lenormand and the Gaia Oracle. So bringing this into the context is that I think that many of you have felt betrayed by someone recently, or you've had some kind of like ending that has put you in a place of just anxiety. I see the Eight of Swords as a very anxiety-ridden card about not kind of knowing what to do, how to get out of the situation. Similar to the Nine of Swords, kind of. Although the Nine of Swords is going to be more the one that keeps you up at night. But this is the Eight of Swords. So it's really about being stuck, immobile. You can't get anywhere. You're really, all you can see are your thoughts, kind of, because she's blindfolded. She can't even see anything around her. My cat's here. This could be for some of you, you may have been betrayed by somebody, or not necessarily even betrayed. Maybe someone let you down. You trusted in a passion, like some kind of maybe new passion in them. You put some kind of new passion in them. Perhaps it could be romantic, it could be a business partnership, or any type of like creative project, and you trusted in them and then they let you down. This may not be the first time that this has happened, right? I don't know, I have a feeling that for many of you with this temptation card, is that you could be giving someone, you know, 1, 2, 3 chances, 20 chances, many chances, and you're somehow have this passion enough for them that you keep going back. So, like in a romantic situation, it may be that you're so tempted by this person, but it leads you to no good. Um, like almost like a cycle of some kind. It also could be some kind of physical, like, or some kind of addiction, mental addiction. It could be like, well, I'm not saying drug addicts or anything like that, but I'm just saying like it could be some kind of emotional temptation or some kind of temptation that it ends up hurting you, right? It could be watching too much TV. It could be spending too much time on Facebook. It could be spending too much time on YouTube. It could be, not to laugh at this problem or whatever, but it could be for some of you. There might be like temptations that get in the way of what you want, and it kind of ends up just hurting yourself, and you kind of get in a cycle. I think it comes when we follow our temptations, though. A lot of times it comes from lack in us. Something lacks, so we're tempted because we think somehow this other thing is going to make us better, right? That we can't be something without it, right? Whether it's a person or an item of some kind, we feel lack without it, so we're tempted to go for it, to fulfill some kind of desire within ourselves that makes us feel better, right? No matter if it's like a person or anything. And it's many temptations are kind of just screwing ourselves over, right? We screw ourselves over with many of our temptations, and we end up getting trapped in situations that don't benefit us and don't serve us. And this could, like I said, this is a general reading. This could resonate with you in many different ways, but you'll feel it in your gut when you hear this. You'll know what your problem is. You'll know, it'll come to you. You'll be like, oh man, yeah, I shouldn't be giving into that person, or I shouldn't be giving into this thing. It's holding me back, like I spend too much time doing it, or too much energy, putting too much emotions into this, or too much of my mind. And you'll feel it. And really, like, the advice I have for you is evolve. We have evolution. It's like earth changes, climate change, transformation. You need to change up your life. You need to change the environment that you live in. It doesn't have to be Mother Nature. It can be, changing the atmosphere, the people you hang around. Well, how, some people really do well with rearranging their home. Like, if you're into feng shui or something, you could look into that. Transforming your life in some way, in your habits. And then for the Lenormand, we have the bear and the snake. The bear represents strength, so you need strength to overcome what? The snake. The snake could be people that you can't trust, right? Little snakes in the grass are out to get you. But it also could be temptation as well. It's a double meaning. So this, it literally fits perfectly. Like, these cards are perfect. Or if you have an overbearing person in your life that causes you a lot of pain, there might be a need to take a tactic to, get out of that situation. Be, sneaky like a snake. But I think for most of you, it's just the strength. You need the strength to overcome temptations or sly people that are, sneaky people that you can't really trust in your life, and you maybe have given too many chances. So really, like, this reading is all about that you need to evolve, and you need to get the strength to defeat whatever temptations they are, and perhaps, evolve an idea of yourself that, like, whatever you feel is lacking, like, look at honestly at your situations and think, why do I go after this person? Or what do I need from them? What am I lacking in myself? Or what do I need from this thing? What does it give me that I, how does it benefit me? Like, what is the actual core of the reason why I do that? And once you identify the reason, it's it gets, well, not easier to fix, but at least you know what is lacking, so you know what needs to be filled in there. So that's really my best advice for you, pile number 3. If that resonated, you can let me know in the comments. But I really wish you all the best of luck. I think we've all been there in places where we're doing things, you know, putting trust into people or trust in the things that really aren't for the best benefit of us and are basically leading us nowhere. But, you know, but it requires strength to get out of those situations. But I know that you have the strength in you. That card, you know, that bear card, you have the strength to do it. You have the ability to do it. It's just about gathering it up, mustering it up, and doing it. Okay? Well, I'll see you guys in the next reading, and take care. Okay. Hello, pile number 4. So, I see some interesting messages here. And some of them, I don't know. I'm going to try not to be too negative here. I want to give you guys honest truth sometimes of what I see. But I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, or I don't know. I'm afraid of sometimes of saying the wrong thing, maybe people taking it the wrong way. Because when I say things, I never mean them as like I'm perfect and you're not. I have like almost everything that I've been through a lot of things in my life, and I've been through a lot of different emotions and stages and feelings, and so when I say things, it's without judgment, okay? It really is. Because I just want to help. Really, my goal is to help people become better versions of themselves. So, for what is blocking you? Okay. So, we have the Page of Pentacles, the Sun, the Page of Wands. They're all actually decent cards on their own. But when we think about what's blocking you, what is blocking you from what you want? We also have these, the Satyr and the Chura, which is revelry and indulgence, and imagination clouds your judgment. I think that for some of you, okay, first of all, we have 2 pages. Pages are young, usually. It doesn't mean that you're young. It could mean that something about whatever you're thinking about, you have a young mind towards. Like maybe innocent mind. And then the Sun. The Sun's a great card. It's very happy and stuff like that. But like, think about like, well, I'm an astrologer before I'm actually even a tarot reader. I've been studying astrology for years, and I really am into it. But the Sun can be our ego, right? And there could be some kind of clash with your ego. Either you're afraid to show it, you're afraid to act on some of your egotistical sides. You know what I mean? Like some of your dreams. But some of you might. I hate saying this. Some of you may be wanting to shine in something that really isn't for you, or you might think that's what you want. It could even be that you've been pushed. We have the Page of Pentacles. The pages, I mean, Pentacles are, it's about being, you know, financial, like, you know, stability. It's connected to Earth, and it's, you know, all about being like kind of like logical and stable. Some of you could be in a situation where you kind of did what was expected of you, rather than following your passions. For some of you, you may have some goals that are really just actually not aligned with your true self. There may be more egotistical goals that don't actually serve you in the long run, right? And for some of you, you are trying to start something, and you have passion for it, and you have actually everything right in it, but you might not have a clear head. Maybe you have problems with, like, you know, like ADD type of stuff, you know, where you can't really concentrate, and you're easily like distracted by different indulgences. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm just gonna go watch an episode of my show, and then 20 episodes later, it's 5 a.m. and you're like, shit, I didn't finish anything. You have this passion, but it's still young and it's still immature, and sometimes, not to sound mean or anything like that, really, like, don't take it the wrong way, but you may have a mind that just sort of wanders, and you want this stable beginning of something. Maybe you have a business idea, and it's in the early stages, or you're still thinking about it and you're passionate about it, but if you actually want it to happen, you might have to watch some of the things you're indulging in and where you let your imagination roam. Okay? Is your imagination roaming in places that help you get the stability, or is it roaming to places that are just not benefiting you, right? And I really do think, I feel that this reading is actually more based on those that don't have a romantic situation. It's more about like financial. Like, maybe you're trying to make your own business, or start some kind of project, or do something stable. Maybe you're a student. I don't think so. I think most of it actually has to do with financial, because we also, for the Lenormand cards, have the fish and the letter. And some of you could feel like you don't have the knowledge to do what you want to do. You have a good plan. You have like a plan. You're like thinking, okay, I want to do this, and it's stable. It's actually a really good idea, and it could really be happy for you, right? But you're kind of like, you got pages. You're just not quite. You're quite not there yet. Maybe you feel like you're too inexperienced still, because I think pages. The Page of Pentacles is wise. Like, I don't think she doesn't look stupid. She looks like she knows what's up. And you may be in a situation where you know what you want, you just don't know exactly how to achieve it. And because of that, you may just kind of like put it off and push it aside, type of thing. So for the advice cards, we have Flame Tree, the start of something new, and a hidden gift, sadness, an ending, and a new beginning. So I think that some of the, whatever I've mentioned that hits with you, even if it's not fun, sometimes it's not fun to think about the things that we don't like about ourselves, or some of the flaws that we might have. If something I said, hit you in a way, there needs to be an ending to that behavior in order to move forward. And also, like believing in yourself, you do have a hidden gift, right? You're not applying it the right way. That's the thing. And you have to begin it. With the Lenormand, we have the fish and the letter. So the fish is about money. One moment, I'm just gonna step up for a minute because my camera turns off after 10 minutes, and I just want to make sure that it didn't turn off on me yet. I'm gonna pause it and come back. Okay guys, I'm back. I just don't want I want to make sure that I go, like, I don't like limiting myself to 10 minutes sometimes, especially with certain piles. It's just like, I have a lot to say. And I've totally been in this situation. I'm still in this situation sometimes. I have very bad concentration skills. And I'm easily distracted. And I'm not a young page anymore. I have a page, like a child. I have children that are like, well, one of them's like a page age. So, and the other one's probably like this son. Oh gosh, yeah, so I mean, okay, but back to the Lenormand, this is where we stopped. We have the fish and the letter. And the fish is about, abundance, it's actually about money and abundance and all that stuff. And the letter is literally a letter, like a letter. It's a documentation of some kind. It's, it could even be like conversation, right? This could be advising you. So if you have a business idea or something, or some kind of idea for a job or studying or something that you want to do with your life, and you feel like you don't know how to achieve it, like you have this cool idea and it's like right there, and you know it can really be good for you, but you're like not quite sure like how to direct this passion, and maybe you've been putting it off because you don't really know what to do. Um, it would be good to get in contact with somebody that maybe knows. Maybe start writing people that have done something that you want to do. You know. Um, as well, if you need some kind of financial help, like maybe it's a financial problem, like you don't know how to get the finances to get it done, there may be options for you. You maybe could ask a relative to invest or a friend, um, and you could find maybe abundance through that, like through some kind of correspondence with somebody that could open up a door for you. But yeah, that's what I see. I mean, you definitely have a gift. Yeah, it says your imagination clouds your judgment, but I don't think it's that, you have unrealistic dreams. That's not what I feel like the message is. I don't think they're unrealistic. I think that for some of you, a very small portion, perhaps you might be in a dream. It's not unrealistic, but doesn't really align with your higher self, with like the higher good of it. It might be an egotistical type of goal. Do you know what I'm saying? Like maybe something that's like that isn't going to actually be for the best for you. You have like a hidden gift that would be even better if you could just tap into it. But I think for most of you, it's maybe just like the distraction, kind of like group number 3. Group number 3 kind of had a similar message about temptations and stuff. Although I think theirs was like half-half relationship, half-half other things. But I really feel like yours isn't so much about a relationship as it is about some kind of financial or like self. Oh, what is that? What's the word I'm looking for? Like stable goal, like financial goal, or something about like being a better version of you, doing some kind of project, something. But yeah, I do think finances are probably involved in this. But yeah, it looks like you'd have to start something. Maybe you'd have to end some certain behaviors, start something new, and I think that you could find help through corresponding with somebody about this. What, depending on your situation, whatever it is, whether maybe you need support from someone, financially, emotionally, or maybe getting in for instance, even like maybe, of course, this isn't the garden card; it's a letter card. Okay, I do want to say real quick though, if you're like trying to get into like university or something like that, and you're maybe you think it's unattainable because it's too expensive or something like that, apply for scholarships. You might get it. Like you might get something, or like kind of keep, do as much, send out as much as you can in that aspect, like asking for help in any way that you can. But yeah, I'm sorry, it's a little bit broad. It's just really hard to when I know that there are going to be probably many different, people of different age groups watching with different stages of their life. Yeah, some of you may be university age. Maybe you even want to quit university and follow your passion. You know what I mean? But maybe you worry that the imagination is clouding your judgment. You're like, oh, is this like too much? Am I not doing the right thing? Like, is this a bad idea? If that is the case, though, it could be possibly a decent idea. Or at least it might be something to think about. If it's for the right reasons, though. We need to look at, is it some kind of indulgence for your ego? Or is it a gift that's going to help other people, kind of? You know what I mean? Because the fish can also talk about, yes, it's good. Usually it's good news with money and stuff like that, but it can also talk about, quality versus quantity type of things, and Yeah, but I think there is some kind of correspondence involved in solving this problem, and some kind of ending of some behaviors. Something that I've mentioned probably throughout this pile. Hopefully, maybe you can identify those behaviors in yourself. Usually when I watch these videos myself, I'll hear something and it'll hit home, and I'll be like, yeah, I know what they mean. Yeah, I do that. Yeah, that's holding me back. Or that's, oh, that's gonna screw me up. Or you know what's going on with you actually deep down. A lot of these readings just like really bring it out and activate it. Like you're like, okay, yeah, that's true. So, and that's really what the purpose is, to help you become your best self. So sometimes it's not fun to hear if you think it might be negative, but I do think I know that you can have success in what you want to do if you follow the right actions, right? If you end some behaviors, and if you do some kind of correspondence with somebody about this, whatever it may be. So look out for maybe mentors, or put in those applications, for if you need something, or get in contact with people that could help you, or might be willing to help you, or might know somebody who's willing to help you, you know what I mean? So that's my advice to you, pile number 4, and I really hope it resonated, and I really wish you all of the best of luck, and that you get everything that you really want, and you live your higher purpose, and you make sure you use your gifts in the world, because the world needs to see them. Okay? Take care, guys. And I'll see you in the next video.